As an honorable or a dishonorable mention, depending on how you want to frame it, Angel Reese, you can argue if it's for good or bad reasons, but she's an icon of women's basketball at the moment, so I wanted to include her in this. She's not a very refined offensive player at the moment, as evidenced by her 54% true shooting percentage, but she is a force defensively and on the boards as well. So for that, she reminds me of Bam Adebayo with the mouth of Draymond Green. Speaking of low true shooting percentages, Juju Watkins is a super gifted scorer that hasn't figured out how to play efficiently yet, as she averages an electrifying historical 27 points as a freshman, but does so on a very low 51% true shooting. Because of her skills and efficiency woes, I see a lot of Allen Iverson in her game right now, and really what's interesting is the fact that Juju Watkins is actually taller than Allen Iverson was. She's 6'2", Iverson was 6 foot. So it's actually a bigger version of AI in Juju Watkins. Moving to Paige Beckers, she's a guard that can do a little bit of everything, is hyper efficient, 64% true shooting, and gets 22 points a night. She also is a real presence defensively, having 2.3 steals and 1.4 blocks a game. It's tough because the law of scouting comparisons says that you must compare white players to other white players. So the closest one I can think of is Grayson Allen. I'm just kidding. She has shades of Jimmy Butler because they both can shoot the three rather efficiently, but don't do so with the most frequency. And statistically, they just line up fairly nicely, with the true shooting being similar and the points per game. Defensively, she's more of a presence than Butler is, but Butler has more all-defensive team recognitions than Beckers does, so it balances out. For Camila Cardoza, she's very mobile, rebounds and blocks very well with 9.4 boards and 2.5 blocks a game, and has good touch at the rim. She doesn't have the greatest moves in the post, but she is still very efficient in close, hence her 61% true shooting percentage, which is great. Also, she's 6'7", so she is very tall. She reminds me of Evan Mobley because they both really have that athletic prowess that lends itself nicely to defensive opportunities, where there's clips of Cardoza just running from the offensive side to the defensive side to get a block, and it's no issue whatsoever for her. That's something I can see Evan Mobley doing, and I can also see the sort of touch around the rim being similar. Now for the one you probably came here for, I have to agree with the public on this and say Caitlin Clark reminds me of Luka Doncic. They're both fantastic scorers that live off fadeaway threes us mortals can only dream of being able to replicate, but moreover, they're both incredibly gifted passers as well. Clark and Luka are both putting up 32 plus points, 7 boards, and are averaging 9 plus assists. They're both averaging 61.6% true shooting as well, which is pretty cute that they're doing basically identically efficiency-wise. They also just have the ability to make the game sort of slow down and play at their exact type of pace, which is something that I've only really seen those two players and maybe a handful of others do. Yes, Clark struggled against UConn, but that is not usually the case. She usually just is in total control of things.